Have you ever wanted to host a holiday gathering but stood in your kitchen thinking, I can't afford this, or my house isn't perfect? Or how about what will people think? And then talk yourself out of it completely. What if I told you that some of the most memorable gatherings that I've ever attended were toasted sandwiches under a tree and coffee and muffins with mismatched chairs? Today, I'm sharing how to host from exactly where you are at without the stress, the perfection, or the price tag.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so.
Hi, welcome back to Chandra's Life. I'm Chanel, a life transformation coach that shares frugal and minimalist tips to help you move through overwhelming seasons without losing yourself. And if you've been waiting for permission to host without having it all together, consider this your permission slip. If you ever scrolled through Pinterest and felt like you can't host because you don't have the perfect tablescape, or if you've ever wanted to gather people you love but convinced yourself you can't afford it, or even if you ever thought that you're not the hostess type, then I can honestly say that I can relate because I've been exactly where you are. I'll never forget the first time I hosted after we went broke in 2009. We were still rebuilding financially, and I desperately wanted to have my family over, but I was terrified. I remember standing in my kitchen thinking that I don't have matching plates and I don't have enough chairs and I can't even afford a fancy meal. I was wondering what they will think. And when Andrew heard my insecurities, he asked me who I was trying to impress, that they are friends and family and they just won't care, because the reality was at that point all of us were struggling, and he was right. But I didn't believe him until I actually did it. I invited my aunt, uncle, cousins, and their spouses, and I made a pub tart dish and chicken on the braai. I asked everyone to bring their own drinks and a side or a snack, and I borrowed chairs from the neighbors. Halfway through the evening, I realized something. Nobody cared about my mismatched plates. We had so much laughter, conversation, and fun playing cards. That night was one of the best evenings that I had in months, and I was happy that I decided to do it. And I realized at that point that hospitality isn't about impressing people, it's about making space for connection, and I could do that even when I was broke. And here's what I learned when I look back at that night. The people in our life don't need perfection, they need connection. They need you, and you can give them that from exactly where you are right now. Don't wait until you have the perfect home. Don't wait until you can afford the fancy meal. And don't wait until everything is magazine worthy. Because life is happening now, and the memories you're putting off won't wait for your perfect season to arrive. This video is part 3 of our holiday prep series. In part 1, we talked about taking inventory of your space and mapping your calendar before the chaos hits. In part 2, we covered how to protect your peace by saying no gracefully. And today, we're tackling hosting, because you can gather the people you love without going broke. And if you missed the first 2, I'll link them for you below. So grab your coffee and let's dive into today's video. If you've been thinking about hosting a little year-end gathering, whether it's lunch, dinner, or something smaller like a coffee morning with girlfriends or family, I want to encourage you to do it, because making memories is what life is all about. And fond memories will never ask how much money you have in the bank. And this is the action tip for today's video. Host from where you are, not from where you wish you were or think you should be. Because here's the truth. Some of the most wonderful gatherings I've ever been to were simple. They were toasted sandwiches, a simple breakfast, or a one-pan mac and cheese under a tree with mismatched chairs. What made them special wasn't the budget, it was the connection. And now, they're the memories I treasure most. I understand that if it's your first time hosting, you could have fears like not being able to feed all the people, or perhaps that your house isn't up to standard, or even that you might mess it up. But let me tell you something that might surprise you. I've asked friends before to contribute ingredients. I've asked people to bring full dishes. I've even asked guests to bring their own chairs and cutlery when I didn't have enough. And you know what? Not once did someone decline an invitation because of that. In fact, it's still a talking point years later because it became part of the story and part of the memory. And if you're sitting there thinking you're not a hostess type, neither am I. Just for transparency, those of you know, you know, I actually hate cooking and cooking for others even more because something will go wrong. But I still create space for people I love because hosting isn't about being Martha Stewart. It's about opening your door and your heart and allow love and memories to flow. But first, before I give you the practical budget tips, I need you to make these 3 mental shifts because how you think about hosting will determine whether you actually do it or not. Your first mental shift is hospitality is about people, not perfection. Your guests are coming for you, not to inspect your home. And if you feel like they're there to judge, then those aren't your people. Don't waste your energy or your money trying to impress them. The second mental shift is simple is always enough. You don't need a 3-course meal. You don't need fancy decorations. You don't even need to spend a fortune. A pot of soup and some bread, maybe coffee and some store-bought pastries, even a simple pasta and a salad is more than enough. The goal isn't to wow them, the goal is to gather them. And the third mental shift is asking for help is not weakness, it's wisdom. If your budget is tight, ask people to contribute. You can ask them to bring a side dish with whatever they want to drink or whatever will work for the situation. The right people will be happy to pitch in because they understand it's not about the food, it is about being together. And look, if you're sitting there thinking, but Chanel, I'm embarrassed about my financial situation right now, then I need you to understand that people who love you don't measure your worth by your bank account or your tablescape. They measure it by whether you show up. And showing up imperfectly is always better than hiding until you're ready, because that day might never come. Now it's time to get practical. Here are my best tips for hosting on a tight budget. Number 1, set a budget and stick to it. Decide ahead of time what you can afford to spend, whatever it is. Plan your menu around that number and don't go over. Your peace of mind is worth more than impressing people. Tip number 2 is I give you permission to choose an inexpensive one-pot meal. Pasta bakes, curry and rice, tacos, even chili can be inexpensive to make. These are affordable, they can feed a crowd, and they require minimal cleanup. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Tip number 3 is to make it a potluck. In South Africa, we most often host by doing a braai or barbecue, as it's also known. And it is common to ask your guests to bring their own meat and drinks. We call it a bring and braai. Even a side or a snack can be included in this invitation. It equals the expense and doubles the experience because everybody likes something different as a side dish with their braai. Most people are happy to contribute. It takes the pressure off you and your budget. And the fourth tip is to use what you have. If all you have are mismatched plates and dishware, then use it. Or get paper plates and plastic cups if you don't have enough or you don't have someone that will lend you some. If you don't have enough seating, you can put blankets on the floor and make it a picnic style. Some of my favorite gatherings have been the most imperfect ones. And tip number 5 is to keep decorations simple. You don't need to buy anything, but if you really feel like you want to, and you have, you can use candles, maybe a bowl of fruit, or even some greenery from the garden. But your home is already beautiful because it is filled with love and you are there. Now look, I'm not a fancy party hostess personality. I'm more of a let's get together and have a braai kind of host. And that's exactly why I know that these tips work. And to make it even easier for you, I created a basic free printable hosting guide. It includes party ideas for November and December, even a complete hosting guide That includes a simple timeline so you're not scrambling to know what to prep ahead or what to think of, and it will also keep your stress low on the day. I'll link it in the description below. So grab it, print it, and see if hosting feels doable for you. And if it does, I can't wait to hear how it goes. And I'm still learning this too. Just last year, I almost cancelled our Christmas gathering because I hate hosting anything. But I caught myself and I remembered that gathering together, especially on Christmas Day as an expat without your family near, people aren't coming for my decor or my cooking skills. They're coming for the connection. And yes, I definitely overcooked the pork and the meal was very basic, but I hosted anyway. And it was one of those memorable gatherings, not because everything was perfect, but because we opened our door for a fellow South African in the Cayman Islands on Christmas Day. So here's your action tip if you're thinking you would like to host something. Pull out your phone right now. Think of one person or one small group you'd love to gather with before the end of the year and text them. All you need to say is, are you free and do you want to do something sometime? That's it. That's the whole text. The rest will come naturally. And then drop the word hosting in the comments so I know that you're doing this. Let's create some memories together this year. And in my next video, we're going to talk about showing up as yourself this holiday season, starting with what you're wearing, because confidence matters and you deserve to feel amazing. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that one. And remember, hospitality isn't about impressing people. It's about making space for the people you want in your life. Your home doesn't have to be perfect. Your meals doesn't have to be fancy. You just have to show up and open the door. The people who love you will come, and the memories you make will last long after the dishes are done. You've got this. I believe in you, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, let's find calm in the chaos while we enjoy living life. Bye.
I don't think so.